What's that going to me? What's it that? All the prayer I'm praying for you. I pray.
What is happening, people? Corporate Steve, aka Mr. Corporate, aka City Boy Steve, back with another video. Today is a very interesting one and something that I've actually experienced myself, being the African that I am. Long story short, a video surfaced on Instagram recently of a comedian named Big Tipper just staring blankly into the camera while I think his mum in the background was just dishing out African cusses. Something along the lines of, you know, you're stressing me out so much, look at your mates, they're doing so much better than you, like look at your brother, he even has a good job, like look how old he is, look how old you are. The comments were really degrading and demeaning to a certain extent. If you don't know who Big Tipper is, you probably grew up in the sticks or the suburbs and think Ant and Dec is hilarious. But long story short, Big Tipper is an old school comedic act from back in the day who did skits, you know, catchy comedic tunes and comedic collaborations with the likes of A-Dot, Max Comedy, Don't Jealous Me, and so on and so forth. And again, if you don't know who these guys are, then you know, sorry. But all jokes aside, this video really struck a nerve because it's all too familiar and quite sad because I know a lot of kids from an African background and similarly strict to cultures are currently going through abuse like this till this day, and we're calling it abuse because that's honestly just what it is at the end of the day. On a positive note, it's good to see that Big Tipper is now back on social media as he disappeared for quite a while. It looks like he's going to start making content again, and you know, we love to see it. Also, shout out to Don't Jealous Me, who made the conscious effort of going to visit him to make sure that he's alright. This is the kind of brotherly love that we need in this day and age. Anyways, I wanted to give my 2 pence on this topic and provide some tips on how I've been able to build a better relationship with my parents and address the toxic mentality that exists growing up in an African household. So you spent 13 plus years in conventional education and you're at that impasse between going to university or going straight into the world of work. Now in the UK, you probably could have stopped conventional education around college, secured an apprenticeship and dived straight into the world of work. But the UK's educational system isn't really forthcoming with all the options available, and of course your African parents, they want you to be a lawyer, doctor, banker or engineer, and as far as they're concerned, university is the only option available. Diving right into that point, I feel like us as young adults need to make the conscious effort of educating our parents on all the different avenues available in the modern world and really redefining the narrative of what success looks like to them. What we need to understand is that our parents have an old generation mentality in the sense that back in their day, what success looked like to them is go to school, become a doctor, the end. So you know, you turn around and telling your African mum that you want to make YouTube videos for a living or you want to do an apprenticeship, they're just looking at you like,
you will end up in McDonald's.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's easier said than done trying to redefine this narrative to them of what success looks like, and you're probably gonna hear a lot of this in the background.
What's that going to me? What's it that?
But most importantly, involving them in what you're doing. You know, sit them down and break down their apprenticeship curriculum and what it entails. Give them periodic updates on how the program is going. Walk them through your university course on what aspects you enjoy and all the different career options available that may be potentially lucrative than being a doctor, banker, engineer, you know, the whole African stereotypical shebang. I found that involving my mum in everything I was doing gave her reassurance and also made her feel a part of the journey, and I really found this to help a lot. To me in this video is the part where she starts comparing him to his peers and stating that they're all doing better than him. This is way too common in an African household. It's always something along the lines of, look at Mama Folabi's daughter, she's now a banker in Barclays. Or you know, look at Toby, he's a doctor in King's College Hospital. It's like, mum, there are different options than being a banker or a doctor in this world, like, bruh. Now, if you're really brave enough, you could play them at their own game and, you know, compare them to Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, because I believe, like, you know, they're all age mates, but that probably wouldn't go down well. In all seriousness, again, I think it's that education piece that comes into effect here. But, you know, this time play them at their own game in a different way. Show them examples of people that you actually aspire to be like and make them understand that you're actually on the right track towards achieving it is what you want to achieve. Admittedly, Big Tipper didn't say anything in this video, but he's probably gone past that point. And, you know, it looks like he's been a victim of progressive abuse over time, which brings me on to my next point. Speak up and nip this in the bud from early. There's this fear mentality in African cultures of not being able to speak up to your parents because, you know, like, But to be honest, there comes a time when you actually have to call out toxic behaviors and things that actually won't help you become the successful individual that they want you to be. Because this is really what needs to be emphasized, so that over time these toxic norms actually fade away. I think it's also important to note that this is your life, therefore you can make decisions and make mistakes, you know. And let's be honest, this pressure from African parents is like 70% because they don't want you to embarrass them, 25% because they're trying to live through you, and a mere 5% because they actually care about you. And unfortunately, this is just the reality. If you don't take control and speak up, it gets to the point where you become a victim of this abuse, and progressively over time it affects your mental health. Now, I'm not calling on every African teen and young adult to rebel against their parents because, again, but you know, just convey your thoughts in a respectful manner whenever situations like this occur. However, be sure to do it when, you know, they've calmed down, because African mums are really combat queens, and you know, you'll be hit either with a flurry of sarcastic remarks or slaps if it's the wrong timing. So just be careful on that front.
Please don't try this at home.
Now, in all seriousness, if the 16 to 18-year-old me saw this video, I would probably be like, shut up, you just don't get it. You don't know what it's like growing up African, better yet in my African household. So, you know, you're just some any next corporate professional giving some westernized advice all in the name of content. And you know what? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But one thing I would say is that these are the things that I've done that's enabled me to have a better relationship with my parents. So, you know, try this approach with an open mind and hopefully you can see changes over time. But, you know, don't get it twisted, I'm still African, I still live in an African household, and every day is a work in progress. What is happening, people? If you stay to the end of the video, type up corporate in the comment section. I'm actually just trying to see something. If this video hits 1 like, I'm probably going to be dropping a part 2. Probably something along the lines of tips for living at home as a corporate professional. So, you know, hit that like button if you want to see that video. I know I owe you guys a lot of part 2s. I promise they're coming, but corporate is always trying to kill me. You know the vibes. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.